Greetings, YouTube. It is Brother Man Trucking. I have a dump truck story for you. It has to do with paperwork. But before we get there, let me give you a little background. So I've always been the type of person that would look at the rules, the guidelines or whatever, and make sure that when it comes to me, that you're playing by the rules. So we got the same rule book, but I want to make sure you're playing by the rules. So, and I try to tell people, listen, don't bother me, leave me alone, I mind my own business. Now, if you choose to go beyond that and keep on going, I will find the rules and everything available and file paperwork against you. And I ain't going to stop until you stop. And then I might still keep going just to prove a point. So with that being said, and there's a lot of things that I put on YouTube that I say that, and there's a lot of things that I don't say, if you get what I'm saying. So let's go to the dump truck thing. So back in it was early, I would say 2006, somewhere around there. So I was working for the dump truck company, and we were taking stone from the quarry to a job site. It was a big state job site that we were taking, the stone to. So there was chatter that the equipment operators were getting paid what's called prevailing wage. Prevailing wage is, I don't know the exact terms in the, get out of here, fly, the exact terms and everything, but let's say it's a federally or state funded project, and they say you have to pay your workers this much and whatever specific field that they're in. So let's just say truck drivers. In this case, it's the trucking channel. Let's just say truck drivers. Truck drivers got paid $25. I believe it's back then. It was like $25 an hour plus whatever the fringe benefits number was. So let's say it was like an extra $15, which went towards your benefits and workers' compensation, all that kind of stuff. So we're just looking at the dollar amount of $25 back then. I think it's 35 now, something like that. But we'll just base it on $25. So if I was a company driver, so if my truck was on that job, I was entitled to $25 an hour as long as I was on that job. So we were taking stone from the quarry, which was like an hour or so, something away, to the job site. So I'm like, man, that's jacked up. I don't remember what I was getting at the time, maybe $17 an hour or something like that. So, man, these guys making $50 an hour or whatever, the equipment operators or the guys on the job, let's say they're getting $25 an hour. These guys getting $25 an hour, and I'm on the job too. So I'm like, let me do some digging. Let me see what I can find. So I'm going through the Pennsylvania laws, and I'm looking up this and looking up that, and I come to, find some prevailing wage information. Oh, hold on, before I get there. When you go to now this is for you, maybe your equipment operator, maybe you have a dump truck, maybe you drive a dump truck for a company, and they don't give you prevailing wage, and you don't know what it is. They haven't said nothing about it. Go to the job, on the job site. Find out where the job trailer is, right? Now, there ain't nobody telling you this on YouTube. Ain't nobody telling you. So go to the job site, find out where the job trailer is. And then they have it's like a bulletin board with a bunch of different papers. Like they got OSHA stuff and federal stuff and maybe state stuff and, all that kind of stuff. If it's a prevailing wage job, it will have your job description and it will have your rate. So let's say your truck driver, $35 an hour. It will have like different classes of truck driver, and we'll give those descriptions, or you may have to look it up. So let's just say truck driver, whatever, $25 an hour. Then next to it, we have fringe benefit of $15 or whatever it is. But we're just looking at the dollar amount, the base amount, $25. So if you're on a job site and it's a prevailing wage job site, you can use that information and present it to your boss. Like, hey, aren't we supposed to be getting prevailing wage on this like that? So that's up to you. So let me get back to the story. So I find this, I go to the job trailer. There was at the time, the officials were called white hats. So the white hats, they're all in there. I think they were like in a meeting at one end of the trailer. So I go in, they're looking at me. I'll just act like they ain't even there. So I go in and I find the bulletin board. I was like, okay, truck drivers. Okay, I fit this one, $25 an hour. So I get back that night. So I talked to my supervisor and I said, hey, shouldn't, I'm on this job. Shouldn't I be getting $25 an hour? Now, I'm not worried about anybody else. Shouldn't I be getting $25 an hour? Because I'm on this job and the paperwork says this. And I think it was a little bit of time, a couple days went by. So I printed something out and said, look, $25 an hour. I'm on this job. And he said, I don't know, let me check. So he went to the officials and everything. So he come back and says, no, that was, I don't remember the word that he used, but I'll just say it was changed. And he showed me the statute or whatever, the code or whatever it was. He said that was changed. I said, all right, fine. Now, looking today, I just like this. Now, before this video, I was like, let me just do a little research. Well, there was another situation that happened out in Western Pennsylvania. I'm in Pennsylvania. It happened out in Western Pennsylvania in 2011. So I guess these guys had a dump truck, employees with a dump truck, and they said, we need to get paid prevailing wage because we're on this job site. And they said, no, we're not going to pay you. The contractor said, no, we're not going to pay you that. Or whoever, I think it was the contractor. You can look it up. The contractor said, no, we're not going to pay you. So they took it to the court. So the court made a judgment saying, yes, you are entitled to this prevailing wage, whatever the wage number is, $25 an hour, whatever it was. Because you were on that job site. And in the document, it states, if you are servicing that job, hauling material back and forth, you are servicing that job, you are to get prevailing wage. That was a court judgment. Now, if I had this information back then, man, we probably wouldn't have been in the court. It's like, look, here's the information right here. I won't say nothing to nobody else. You paid me the $25, or whatever the number was. You pay me, and then we won't take it to court. I'm pretty sure they would settle out of court. We would have come to an agreement. Or I just wouldn't be on that job anymore. They do that trick too. But that's just some of the things, man. I mean, just people, just because I talk about some stuff and I don't give you all the little details and stuff like that, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And there's a lot of information that I leave out. Not that I'm hiding anything, but everything doesn't need to be on the glass. That's all for this one. See you.